We did a lot. I know it sounded like 4 sections when we first started with components, composables, routing, and state management. But as we know, the meat of today was really just getting our hands elbow deep in composables, so that when you go back to your code bases, you're just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to create one, and you're not going to think twice about it. I think if that's where people are feeling, and then you got to get your hands on with some of those more kind of call it advanced composition design patterns, where they're more edge cases, but again, as software architects, we do need to understand how to navigate those things. And so, those are things that we touched on as well. And then a lot of you got to play with file-based routing, it seems, for the first time, which is fun. Yeah, so that's like, for me, it's such a big DX improvement. And then finally, of course, we kind of wrapped it up to show that like all our work with composables really is not so far from the state management library we already have, the official one we have for Vue. So again, I have met people at other workshops who they're like, Pinning is great, but we decided to hand roll our own. We have our type safe, we have our documented way of doing it. And I can't stress enough, if that works for you, good, go for it. Just know that, these pre-built options are still very suitable and worth your time should you choose to use it.
Just a comment in the chat that this was a very informative workshop and a really great addition to your fundamentals course.
Great. I really appreciate that. But just kind of in terms of other final thoughts, so just kind of these are the things that we covered. Lots of different techniques within them, so do not sell yourself short of the things we did. So, of course, the next question is, now you've just finished the intermediate workshop, what is next? And so to you, I present this comic. I hate myself, that's where it starts. A therapist comes by and says, look, TypeScript. And then, wow, I hate this even more. I kid. Now, the thing is that TypeScript, I don't know. For me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with it. There are times where I'm like, wow, this is great. It's doing exactly what I want. And then there's other time where the build tool is breaking and I'm like, nothing works. I want to chuck all this in the bin. It's for me, it's a very much a love-hate relationship. That said, it's more I said in jest. I mean, obviously we're here as a front-end masters workshop, but Vue is ultimately, I tell this to people all the time, it's a framework about helping to get the cruft out of the way so you can do what's important to you. And once we provided those fundamentals with Composition API now, as we talked about, a lot of the next step really is just about advancing your skills as a JavaScript software architect. Because the patterns we're talking about, singletons, factories, we talked about different ways to share state, how to keep them modular. Those are all things that it's shared across the fields we do, regardless of whatever framework it is that you do. And so there are wonderful, as you know, workshops, or for those if you are new, wonderful workshops they have here that to kind of take your JavaScript or TypeScript knowledge further on. So if TypeScript is scary, definitely this is the place to check out. And then for those who haven't had the joy of checking this out, be sure to check out Nuxt. Nuxt is kind of this wonderful paradise of like DX enhancements that the things you love about Vue 3, they were like, cool, we're gonna like just build stuff in that we think has worked really well, and then you just try it out. So things like the page, the file-based routing that we did, that's built into this. So people who've been using Nuxt 3 have had this for quite some time. It's only recently come to Vue 3 as like a separate plugin. They have things like auto imports on your composables. They have already built-in patterns for like how API libraries can be, or API fetching can be done. They have their own native use fetch as well, because we built like a very bare bones one on our own. And then more importantly, Nuxt can handle all the SSR hydration. You want to do some stuff static. You want to do some stuff like client-side rendered. It can do all that. And so the hybrid rendering, like it makes just to show you, like Nuxt hybrid rendering. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever dove into this on your own, but like SSR is a rabbit hole. And so what's cool, like check this out. You can just set route rules and then tell it which strategy you wanted to use for what page. Yeah, you see, like, cool, pre-render this, do like stale while revalidate on that. I mean, the acronyms kind of get all over the place. But you can see here that, I mean, I don't know if it gets much easier than that, right? When it comes to mixing your rendering strategy for your site, especially when a lot of things you don't need to be constantly re-rendered, or not everything needs to be SSR'd. I think in software development, we do have a tendency to like over-index on like whatever the hot thing is. And so, SSR was the way we always did it, and then it's almost like we forgot about it, and then it became a thing again, and then everyone's like, oh, SSR everything. And it's like, there's a world where everything plays together. And so this kind of stuff reminds me that, like, yeah, we can have some stuff that's pre-rendered, which is great. We statically generate it. Other stuff like blog posts, right? You don't need that to be generated, especially on the client side. Just generate it once of deployment, cache it, things like that. And so Nuxt is phenomenal. If you have a chance to play around with another project and you're starting a new Vue project, again, can't speak highly enough of Nuxt. The team is phenomenal. If you're looking for someone to follow, Daniel Rowe is the project lead on Nuxt. He is fantastic. And then I'm curious, has anyone here heard of VitePress? Yay, okay, great. For those who haven't, this is the successor to VuePress, if you didn't hear about that one. And essentially, it's just a static site generator that creates a docs site that looks just like vitepress.dev. It basically looks like this, except everything is configured via Markdown. And so, like, if you're getting started, you can see here, like the homepage is just like you add the title, the description, some theme config stuff, and then you get all this navigation, you get theming, you get the ability to have like next page. Like it's basically all Markdown, but the back end of it will statically generate for you, and then it even uses Vue underneath the hood for theming. And so there's actually a lot of open source projects use this these days, and they're not even Vue related. They just wanted to create a doc site, and VPress is incredibly easy. Like you start up the starter project, you add some Markdown files, voila, it works. It's pretty great. So shout out to VPress as well for those looking for like, hey, I want to spin up like a little internal doc site for my team. This is great. This is like this is phenomenal for that kind of thing. And people use it at scale. Like I think Pinia, all the docs you see in the Vue, I think we all use VPress.
Pretty much the whole like Vue Nuxt.
I think Nuxt does have Nuxt docs though, so that's where I hesitate. So it's similar, but nonetheless, VPress on its own impressive, and Nuxt docs, I guess, honorable mention to them as well. I haven't had a chance to use them as much, but they also create great stuff. But yeah, you can see file-based routing. Yay! Huzzah! Congratulations! You ought to be proud of yourself. I really appreciate everyone spending the time with me today. I know it's been a long day, but again, with all your feedback and questions and stuff, it really makes this a pleasurable experience. So thanks everyone for coming by.